What is up, MFL Nation? We got a special. We always have a special episode for MFL Total Access. We got an even specialer one today.
Special or a word?
No, I doubt it, but
Okay.
I thought I'd try. Will Power, Terry Babalis. Uh, Tough weekend for both our NFL teams. Hopefully, this will distract us. But we got some good NFL to talk about that we didn't even see.
Yeah, we're gonna do things a little differently today. I don't think we ever done a show this way. What we're planning on doing. I don't even know if we're gonna do it throughout the whole show. We'll start off like that, and we'll see where it takes us. If it's fun or not, we might just deviate from it. Besides that, we're almost like midway through the season now. So, a few reminders: all players must have 5 games played to be eligible in the playoffs. Very important. You check that out. If you have certain players who haven't played many games as of right now, get them their games played. If you have players who have been injured, it's always best to let us know as soon as possible. That way, if you ask for an injury exemption later in the season, it's more believable and easier to process in that case. Also, playoff dates. Montreal, 3 weekends: November 2nd, November 9th, November 16th. Laval Brossard, everything's on one day, November 3rd. So mark your calendars, folks. I don't want to hear about any vacations, any people being away. It's the MFL playoffs. There's nothing more important than that.
Breach.
Um, Anything else we needed to get into?
Let's see. Did you say 5 games to be playoff eligible? That's a key one. I think we're good.
Alrighty, let's start this show. Start with Division 5. Can you see my screen?
Bus, yeah.
So what we wanted to do today is look up at the standings and see that important red line and talk about who's a contender, who's a pretender, and what's the other one on the bubble?
I think we say like not sure yet.
Not sure yet. Okay.
I like the bubble though.
Okay. So I say we start with the well, because like a pretender means you could be good, but you're not for real, right? Like you're having a good season, but we don't think you're like actually championship worthy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little mean.
Yeah, I get a little this. I mean, maybe it's a contender, pretender, and then try again next year. But then that's like too mean of them.
Okay, what do you want to start with? Like the good or the bad?
Let's go. No, let's go to. Well, I say we do from like 7, and then we go down and up or something like that. Because we can, I don't think we start 14 or 1.
Okay. You want to go up or down?
Let's go 7, and we'll go
Well,
downwards.
I think it's easier if we get the good and or the bad out of the way first. Like it's always easier to like circle the really good teams, the really bad teams, then we could dissect the ones in the middle.
Mm, okay, that's fair.
I feel that make our lives a little easier.
Yeah, good. Maybe that's a good call.
So you want to start with the good or the bad?
Let's start with the bad.
Okay, so 14 team division, 6 teams do not make the playoffs. Who are your, for sure, thanks for showing up this season, but better luck next season teams in that category?
I think we got.
Holy smokes, Pick Sixers got their first win.
They did. They did, and unfortunately, I will throw. Boy, this is tough because Pick Sixers beat 514. I gotta put 514 Pick Sixers, Aspen, and Budget Cats in that category.
I have the exact same 4 teams. And then if we look at
Yeah,
let's say, let's put it this way. Let's go with teams that we think are for sure not making the playoffs, teams that are locked to make the playoffs. And then among those locked teams, we'll talk about true contenders.
Got
I
you.
don't know if you agree, but I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll roll with it.
So I got Phoenix, Jungle Squad, and Titans. I got three playoff locks, and I think I'm ending it right there.
Really.
Yeah, and I'll give my explanation after. But who are your playoff locks?
I'm gonna lock Phoenix, Jungle Squad, Titans. And I'm also gonna lock Wong Dynasty and Slicks.
Okay, Bearhood and Spartans only have one fewer win than Wong Dynasty in 28-3. Pretty
Yeah,
crazy,
true.
no?
Yeah, that is true. It looks like it's gonna be a tight race. Wong Dynasty only playing the four games.
Yeah. Let's see who they got coming up. Bearhood. So say Bearhood wins that game, they're half a game back from Wong Dynasty, and it could just switch off just like that.
Just one game. Yeah, it's true. Half a
That
game, right? Three. And
that's where I only got Phoenix, Jungle Squad, and Titans as my locks. Man, Kevin was complaining all off season that he didn't have a shit team, a shit team, a shit team. He's sitting at 4-0 with 145 points, 420 points against.
pretty good ratio if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wong Dynasty. I think they're. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but at 3-1, I like what I've seen from them. I like their energy. They really seem like a cohesive team. And Slicks, there's no way I see a team that talented missing the playoffs, even though they're 3-2 right now. And I
So
think
I agree that Wong Dynasty 28-3 Slick should definitely make the playoffs. Even their last calls, I'm going to put in that category. Their last calls losing a close one to Slicks 34-33, but the last call should definitely be in the playoffs in my mind. So then you're going to look at mm, Big Booty Spartans Bearhood battling it out for the last playoff spot. Look,
man,
out of those teams from the 5 to the 10 range, who do you like?
I like I like Slicks and I like last calls.
And then like 28-3 Big Booty Spartans Bearhood. Those four teams, it's going to come down to those four teams, and only two are going to make it. If we're making sense of what we're saying,
Mm-hmm.
that's how the D5 playoffs are going to come down to, or what they're going to come down to, right? It's
Yeah,
going to be 28-3 Big Booty Spartans Bearhood, and two out of the four make it.
it's crazy. I think like I could see Spartans maybe creeping into a playoff spot and Big Booties falling out. I'm not sure if I see. I'm not sure this year if I see Bearherd squeezing in, and then we got 5-1-4, and the other guys don't think six will make it. 28-3 should be able to make it. The only potential maybe change I see is I know it's obviously still like very early, but maybe Spartans in and Big Booties slide down slowly.
Yeah, lots of football left to be played. Big Booties are playing Slicks. Spartans are playing Pick Sixers. Bearhood are playing Wong Dynasty. We got a battle of first undefeated teams. Phoenix Jungle Squad. Mark your calendars, folks. That's the 5 game of the week for sure. And as been they last calls, right? So like, assuming no real upsets here, Les Last Calls should get another victory. Spartan should win a game there. And let's say Slicks win this one. That's going to put Big Booties in a tough position, right? So this is like I know it's only you only played 4 games so far, Big Booties, but this game against Slicks is really big.
It's like I don't want to say it's a playoff game, but like you're kind of battling Slicks for that, spot of being in the top eight.
Look,
Um,
their schedule ain't getting easier after that. Slicks,
that
they
and
last
yeah,
call 28 through. They're also battling with Wong Dynasty, maybe Pick Sixers, but they're on a 1 game winning streak right now. and then Phoenix closed it out. So like, I'd say this is almost like must win for them.
And Big Booties have won two straight, right? So they've done well.
Yeah,
After the bad start, but yeah, I think this can be another game to watch. Six Big Booties.
I mean, is it really a bad start? Like they lost to Jungle Squad and Titans, who combined for one loss. Titans only lost a game. Jungle Squad are undefeated. So you can say that they were expected to lose those two games, right?
That's true. The donut is a little bit surprising though in the first game, but you are right.
Probably
It's
had
against
some rust.
two good. Yeah,
I like this format. Let's go to Division Four.
yeah. Okay, okay.
You're not too. You don't sound too sure.
No, no, we're good. Let's keep rolling.
So
Okay.
Division Four, we got 10 teams. Six make the playoffs. Um, Slot Machine getting back on the win streak there. You had a 51-39 high scoring affair right here. Binet get their first win of the season over Hawks, who got their first loss of the season. Upset alert there, eh?
Damn.
Um, yeah. So, um, okay, I got a question for you. Does Sour Piece have a shot at making the playoffs?
It's funny. Like you want to say yes because they're only one game out, but you look at the teams they're battling. I'd be shocked if Munster Tigers don't make it, and I'd be very surprised if Slot Machine don't make it. I'd say yeah, but it's pretty slim right now, even though they're only one game behind Slot Machine.
So same goes for Binet and Fat Players, right?
But yeah, I don't understand how didn't Fat Players. I thought they got a win. Was it maybe it was a forfeit or something? But yeah, this I don't understand how
Nope, no wins there.
man, how Fat Players are struggling so much.
Yeah, that defense. They're scoring points, but it's that defense.
64.
So safe to say there's 7 teams battling out for 6 positions already.
I'll give Sour Peeps. I'll say eight with Sour Peeps as kind of like that team that they got to start winning a few. Shoot, they also lost the slot machine, so they have no tiebreaker there. But Sour Peeps is a good franchise, so I'm not going to throw them out just yet. But it's not looking great.
What about Binet?
I think Binet and Fat Players, it's see you next year. But look, you never know. Binet got a surprising win.
And as for true contenders now, is it Witching Hour or the Field?
I like witching hour. I think so. Um,
It's the only team that has shown no flaw so far.
yeah, I do really like Blue Badgers though. So like if you're saying witching hour of the field, and maybe because of Blue Badgers, and it's you like Hawks now that was a surprising loss against Binet. Um, and Blue Badgers they're putting up with they lost by five against a really good team. Other than that, they looked pretty good. Um, the field is pretty good, right? You got Mustard Tigers in that field, you got Blue Badgers in that field, you got Slot Machine in that field.
Yeah, Witching Hour had a few buys, but it'll be interesting to see them playing against the Action Squad bright and early at 9 a.m. this upcoming Saturday. Um, yeah, it's a competitive Division Four, man. Looking at these teams, look, Binet, Sour Peeps, nothing but D, Slot Machine, Action Squad, Blue Badgers. So literally half of this division were all Division Five teams really not that long ago. And for the most part, or the majority of them, at the very least, are having a lot of success in Division Four. Like I look at a team like Action Squad, who was previously named TD Hunters, and they were like a 500 team in Division Five. And right now they're sitting at above 500. with a horrendous differential somehow. But nonetheless, they're sitting at 3-2, right? In Division Four, making some noise, beating Blue
True.
Badgers.
Exactly. So I know that's the thing.
Um, who would you say is the most dangerous team in this division besides Witching Hour? Like, who's the team that you wouldn't want to face in the playoffs?
I know like I did say I like Blue Badgers, but with the experience and everything, and just how many points they're putting up, I'm gonna go Mustard Tigers. You look at they have 125 points in 3 games. Uh, my math isn't the best, but like that's pretty good.
That's
That's
a lot
that's
of
over
points.
40 a game. That's over
Yeah,
40 points a game. And like you said, in specifically playoffs, they have a lot of experience. They have playoff experience and some, I guess you can say some, not necessarily the youngest guys on that squad either. So they have games under their belt, and I think that'll like help them moving forward.
yeah, I like that pick. I'm if I'm gonna answer the question I just asked, I'm gonna go with a slot machine. Opposite of Mustard Tigers with the points against at just 50 points against through 4 games. That's like 12 and a half. I know they're sitting at 2-2, but this team has not lost many games in the last year of football, right? They know how to win. They went undefeated to win Division 5. When they're on, they're really, really on. So I like slot machine.
It's surprising to see them already have 2 losses.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of like those rainy weekends, right, involved that maybe like had a big factor in some of these games, right?
Yeah,
Look, they lost to Blue Badgers and Hawks by less than a score, by 5 points in each game.
respectable.
Division 3.
Yeah, let's go.
So, in case you didn't listen to our intro, which I feel far too many people do, we're doing something a little different in today's episode. We're dissecting the standings, and we're talking about what we think each team is worth and who we think is for real or not. So,
Not an easy task.
sorry,
Not an easy task.
depends for who. I mean, it's easy or not easy depending if you want to be a nice guy or not, basically, right?
True.
So looking here, one thing that stands out and shocks me a little bit is Arnold sitting at 1-2. This is an Iron Wolves team that look, most of the teams in this division are coming up from Division 4 from last season, right? Or are new to Division 3. Arnold's is one of the only, if not the only, team that did play in that like uber competitive Division 3 last spring, right? So you'd think they'd have like a little step in advance, but they do have like almost a brand new team here. And but I do let's see who they played before. They lost to Ducks and they lost to Tropic Thunder by 2. And John took that safety at the end of the game. They could have won that one. So they did play against two really good teams, but still with the experience on that team, just led by John and Josh, like it should be enough to have them over 500. Another thing
Yeah,
that is surprising is secure top shooters 0-3. I know they've been missing like their whole roster every game. Um, and then we got looking at the top, we got Tropic Thunder that's still undefeated.
yeah. I think Iron Wolves are. I'm ready to say pretenders. I know it's early. It's only been 3 games, but the seasons that they've had last year, not really as great as would expect, and this season at 1-2. Just based off the record, it's easy to say pretenders, but if you, like you said, you dive into what's going on is they played against 2 good teams and the games were fairly tight. But I just this is something's missing from this Iron Wolves team that they used to have. I don't know what it is, but
Is it
um,
Hope?
it could be some hope.
Are they missing Hope?
Yeah, everyone needs a little bit of hope.
Would you say Secure and Sourpuss both still have a shot at making the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think most definitely. I don't think there's any team that's eliminated in this division. Like in Division 4 and 5, we had at least 3 teams in each division that we said, thanks for showing up, but see you next year.
Mhm.
Look, Sourpuss, a new team in this division, sitting at 0-3 right now, but I can only see them getting better. And looking at who they played, CIA, Iron Wolves, Blitzing Bastards. They got Turf Ninjas, Drama Club, Ducks coming up. And the main reason why I think these two teams are most definitely still in it is that they both only played 3 games. So already they have a game in hand over Blitzing Bastards. But the last team that's sitting in a playoff spot, Iron Wolves, only have 1 win, right? So they're only 1 game behind a playoff spot right now. Drama Club, they have a game in hand over them, and they're just sitting at 2-2. So it's not as if it ain't no impossible. It ain't no impossible task, that's for sure.
Yeah, true.
And look, Secure Top Shooters never had a full roster, so both these teams, in my mind, are in contention for a playoff spot. Looking at the top of the standings, is it Tropic Thunder or the Field? I guess we'll find that out when they play against CIA Fusion this Saturday. But who do you got there?
I say, man, no, I say Tropic Thunder. Their run continues. They get their 81st straight victory for Tropic Thunder. So I said that happens. See, I say it's really 1A, 1B with CIA Fusion. I think what's really the exciting part and to me the most interesting team in this division is Turf Ninjas. But I think let's say you go 3-4, Ducks and Turf Ninjas. Ducks looking good at 3-1. I think Ducks lost their first game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, or I know
Yeah,
they
the Tropic
lost.
Thunder.
Yeah, and that we know was a tough game, and then since then they've rallied off 3 straight. I didn't really expect that. I thought this team would, probably 2-2 at this point in the season, or maybe even 1-3. Um, but Turf Ninjas, they're a team. They're going to give up a lot of points, but they're going to put up a lot of points, and then sometimes they'll play down to their opponent. Sometimes they'll play even better no matter who they're playing. I think the wild card in this division is Turf Ninjas because I just think that they have the potential to, drop an easy game, but also the potential to upset a team too.
Yeah, I
With
totally agree with you.
yeah,
Matt Lacoste has just been getting better and better at quarterback position. Over 1,000 yards through 5 games, 21-7 touchdown to interception ratio, over 60%. Like those are pretty good stats. Like those are freaking good stats. Look at the ball distribution here. You got a bunch of players with close to over 20 receptions, over 180 yards, a bunch of multiple touchdowns to multiple players. Yeah, this is a good team for sure. So, where would you draw the line of teams on the bubble? Like, would you say the top 4 are locks to make it in? Definitely the top 3, right?
I think I would just say top three because, like I said, Turf Ninjas. I could also see them blowing games too. So let's say they finish with 4 wins. If we're saying locks, I'm saying just top three.
And do you see if there's one team that's in a playoff position right now that you think will be in trouble or is in trouble come playoff time? Who would it be?
I think Blitzing Bastards will make the playoffs, and I think Iron Wolves will probably won't.
Are you confident in Drama Club?
Yeah, I see them finishing around 5-5.
Yeah, they with Simon Valiquette and Ben Denis on that team, they're pretty scary connection. Um, I see them finishing with a winning record for sure. I think they go at least 6-4. We didn't talk about them much, so just before ending Division 3, let's try to predict the record. What do you got them against Blitzing Bastards?
So I'm gonna say I say they fall to Blitzing Bastards. So 2-3. Beat Sourpuss 3-3. Lose CIA 3-4. Beat Turf Ninjas 4-4. Beat Iron Wolves 5-4. And honestly, no, I said lose to Ducks. Oh yeah, I'm going 5-5.
I got them beating Blitzing Bastards 6-4.
Okay, fair, fair.
Alrighty, and we're back. I think we're at Division 2 now.
If you.
You see my screen?
I see a beautiful picture of Jason.
Yeah, there was only one game in Division Two this past weekend. Let's see if there's more coming up this week. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. So yeah, in case you weren't listening earlier, we're kind of just going through the standings today. And since the midpoint of the season, we're kind of dissecting who do we think is a true contender, who's a pretender, who are we saying thanks for showing up, but you didn't really show up, so we'll see you next year. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments, or if you agree or don't agree. It's crazy that Villains are in last place right now. Well, I know they've only played 3 games, uh, so like they have 2 games in hand compared to most of the teams ahead of them. But it's that they're a damn good team, right?
You can say that again. Yeah, that's crazy how Rosas has played wow 6 games. I don't think I've ever seen that 6-3.
Um, so I feel this is one of the toughest divisions to do. Like it was pretty straightforward with all the other teams, but like right now, who would you say is like obviously this maybe well, even respects like oh they lost a game by forfeit, that's why they're at -1, but like the top 2 teams have a negative differential, and the worst place team has a positive differential.
It
It's bananas.
is true. And the first place team had to come back down 20.
We have teams 2 through 10 with 2 wins. Can't make this stuff up.
For reals.
So anyone that you're saying is like their season's done and they're out of it, and anyone that you're saying you're like my number one contender, like you're the true favorite here,
The true favorite has got to be respect.
besides
Uh,
them.
is there another like lock?
Yeah.
I think Double Dippers is a lock. Sometimes they play down to their competition, but no, they're a lock. Tigres are a lock. I think those are just my 3 locks.
Who's most likely not making the playoffs?
Oof. I'm gonna go. I probably just
Like
Rothfuss.
not because of them, but just because of everyone else.
Yeah, I mean the Rossos are 2-4 right now. But then if they win this weekend, they'll be 3-4. But like, I can't see Villains missing the playoffs. I think we're good enough to make the playoffs, Thunder Buddy. So won't pick us. And Phoenix, something about this Phoenix team in Div 3, they just have a lot of fight. Um, yeah, I'd say, but it's really, really like everything's up for grabs right now.
So a lot of these teams are very familiar, right?
Yeah,
Can you find the intruder?
like a new team for Div 2.
Yeah.
Or Rejects is a new team.
The one and only, no?
I think so.
Sitting at 2-2 right now. 126 points for, 104 points against. Ryan Dobbs, the quarterback position, right? Doing pretty well. 800 yards through 4 games, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, almost 70% completion percentage. He has his main targets, Ali and Eric, who Eric through just 2 games has 5 touchdowns. And on the defense side of the ball, you got your boy Alex. How do you pronounce his name again?
This is Brzezinski.
With 3 picks in 3 games. You got 2 players with 2 sacks apiece here. It's an interesting team with a bunch of different pieces in this on this squad, right? Looking at their season, they started 0-2 against, I think, the 2 best teams of the division, Double Dippers and Respect. and then they faced off against two of the weaker teams in the division that are not in a playoff spot right now, Phoenix and Rosas. So their next game against Tigres is going to be interesting to see because it's going to be the first time they're playing against a. Well, no, Tigres is not a middle of the pack team. Tigres is definitely higher up than middle of the pack. So it'll still be interesting to see how they fare against them, right? Because they didn't really have that great of showings against Double Dippers in respect, losing by 14, losing by 22, and then they annihilated the lower competition, right? So were those
September.
two first games just tune-up games and just took time to gel? And if they play Double Dippers respect again, it'll go better for them.
I think so. I think the games would be tighter. And and September 21st, that doubleheader, man. That game at 9, that game at 3. Like you look at their. You said I think you take a split there, right? If they go 3-3, I think heading into week 7, they'd be pretty confident about their season if they're able to.
If they take a split there and go 3-3, how do you see their season ending? Bin, Thunder Buddies, Nice Cities, Average Joes.
Yeah, I'll give them the win against Ben. Well, us Thunder, I mean, Thunder Buddies. Hopefully, we able to pull it off. Um,
So they're 4-4.
yeah, and then
They could go 4-6. They could go 6-4.
that's true.
They could go 5-5.
It's a playoff team, though.
Do you think 4-6 is enough to make it in the playoffs in this division?
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a good question because we look at
I think it does not guarantee you a playoff spot.
it. It doesn't.
I'd be surprised if a 4-16 got in. Actually, I think there's more chances. And let's try to remember this to look at it at the end of the season. But I believe there's more chance a 5-5 team will be out than a 4-16 will be in. Like this division reminds me a
Yeah,
lot of Division 3 in the spring. And if we look at those that standings here, you needed to be 5-5 to make it in. There were no 4-16s, but even if they were not making the playoffs.
that's a great comparison.
But actually, if there were a 4-6 team, maybe one of these teams would have been 4-6 as well at 7 and 8 spot, and then maybe a 4-16 would have got in. But that being said, you still needed to pass through the tie-breaking procedure. So let's look at the upcoming Division 2 games. Well, Double Dippers Bin, that one's an important one for Bin. They don't want to drop below 500. And like you circled that double header for rejects against the Villains and Tigres. Nice TDs on a 2-game win streak with a new quarterback facing respect. This standings could look a whole lot different when we speak next week, eh?
I expect a high scoring game. Respect nice TDs.
Agreed.
The shootout.
Should be one. We go to Division 1 or anything else you wanted to dissect here?
Let's see. Well, what are your chances of making the playoffs for Phoenix?
27%.
Yeah,
What do you say?
yeah, I'd say 33.
Okay, so roughly around 30.
Yeah,
They played Average Joes. They played Rejects, Raw Sauce, Double Dip. They did have a hard schedule to start the season. Look, this was Phoenix Bin. was the quarterfinals of Division 3 last season. Phoenix took them to overtime. Ben ended up being your Division 3 champs. I could very well see that game be winning you're in, losing you're out.
10:30. So October 19th.
You know what day that is, eh?
October 19th. Good call.
Do you?
Yeah, the last day of college football. No, I kid.
Division 1?
They won.
So looking at the standings, only 3 teams make it in. Safe to say, Pocket Rockets are eliminated from making, not mathematically eliminated, obviously, but do you see any way where Pocket Rockets could slide into a playoff spot come season's end?
No.
The one thing that I will say compared to other divisions where there are more teams is that this actually plays into their favor that there are fewer teams because by the end of the season they're probably playing against almost everyone that's ahead of them right now, right? Compared to other teams with like a 10-team division where you might only play against the 1, 2, 3 seed and you're not gonna play against teams that you're actually battling with. Like if Pocket Rockets win against KLB, they're 1-4. KLB's 3-3, right? I don't think. Look, I don't think it's likely, but I don't think. I still think it's too early to shut the door on them.
Let's say they beat they beat KOB 3-3, 1-4. I'd be shocked.
Then they're playing Iron Wolves. They win those 2 games, they could have as many wins as the Iron Wolves right there.
That's true.
Are you in a bye week again with Iron Wolves?
Yeah, back to back.
But you're gonna be there this Saturday, right?
We'll see.
Look, crazy. 18 demolished Pocket Rockets this past weekend, and then they lost 49-42 in a high scoring game to KOLB. KOLB at that point, you're like, they were sitting at first place at 3-1. Outlaws were still 2-1 at that point. KOLB could win against Outlaws and like start walking away with this division, cementing themselves a true contender. And then they dropped one to Outlaws, and I was not there. I did not see that game, but oh man, I wonder what it looked like with Max Rosenfeld throwing the ball in orange. I was looking at the game at some point, and I believe he was 17 of 17 to start the game with 5 touchdowns, no picks. Like he was that close to a perfect game. I really wish he still had the. I'm not exactly sure I'm not sure exactly what his injury is, but I know that he can't throw for a full season. But it would be nice to have Max throwing for Holy Trollers again and reunite that old school Outlaws Trollers rivalry with a whole new twist now that Max would be an ex-outlaw if that were to happen.
And that was what an incredible game there by Max to 21-25, 205. Now the third, wait, let's just see. Yeah, the third quarterback the Outlaws in only 5 games.
Yeah, and he hasn't thrown in a while, man. And to have over 80% completion percentage with, I'm pretty sure he hasn't thrown to any of the guys on the team. Like literally, I don't know if you ever threw to any guy on this team, and to connect that well in your first game, like it's crazy. The experience, right? Not only that, he also got a pick on defense. But yeah, good call. 5 games for Outlaws, 5 or 4.
Good call.
Four
Maybe
games,
4.
3 different quarterbacks. And all of them with a lot of 2-point conversions. Like, in that game, Mac got 3 out of 5. But if you rewind a bit and look at this 18 KLB game, man, was that an offensive shootout?
You look at like the individual stats. There are 9 catches, a buck 39, 1 touchdown, 2 point convert, 7 catches, but that's for Jeremy, but 3 TDs. Then the other side, Rooney, 3 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got one, two, three, four, five, 18 players scoring at least 1 touchdown.
That's crazy. Touchdown ball distribution right there.
But it's the extra passing touchdown for Pluk that got the W.
Yeah. Both these teams so talented, man. So going back to the standings, who do you say is the true contender? Like, who do you say is your favorite right now in Division One? Is there one true favorite, or like, is it 1A, 1B, 1C?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure there's a true favorite, honestly. I mean, it looked like Outlaws sitting at 3-1. I mean, we'll give Outlaws being the favorites there.
I
Um,
think I give the slight edge to Outlaws just based on the fact that they're the defending champions. I don't know why. Like this, I say it often, but like the year Gold Cook won, the next season, like I was always giving them the benefit of the doubt, even when they were losing during the season. And then last year it was tough not to count a team out at any point in time, right? Like even though they were an outside looking in, you just had to think like, okay, they're gonna squeeze in, right? They're the defending champs. So like, and this year, look, if it wasn't Outlaws, it's A team or KOB, like 1A, 1B, 1C. Really, it's like a three-headed monster sitting at in the playoffs right now, in a playoff position right now. And I give that slight edge to Outlaws. But look, A team already with 200 points through 5 games. That's a 40-point average. Outlaws just below the 40-point average a game. That's a lot of points, man. And KOB really showed that, like, by defeating 18, 49-42. Like, look, 18 put up a lot of points this weekend, 42 and 41, 83 total points, right? And their defense had an incredible outing against Pocket Rockets. Had A Team only played that one game, we would have probably been here sitting talking about how A Team are for real, they're great, and all that. The fact that they had a doubleheader and they went on to play against KLB right after, yes, it's tough to play a doubleheader, back-to-back games. Who knows how that game would have turned out if it was their first game of the day, right? But after that, they lose a really close one to KLB. I think it just goes to show we gotta maybe ignore the score line in the Pocket Rockets game. What do you think?
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's funny that you look at the doubleheader KLB had. Imagine if they finish off their night 49-42, impressive win, and then they play Outlaws, who have a D1 quarterback, but guys that still missing, Marvin and a few guys on that team, and then they lose. Maybe not a surprise there because we haven't maxed that quarterback, but so like 2 teams playing 2 games, both of them quite a bit different. And I think yeah, the 41-7 game, maybe it's 18, beating up on Pocket Rockets, but I do like like you said, you're gonna for like the flag, it's about offense, right? Offense wins you championships, and they score 41 and 42 points, averaging 41 and a half is pretty good. So despite not going 2-0 for 18, I think you gotta like where you're at right now, sitting at 3-2. And Yeah, and Kill will be that 3-2 there, and I think it'll be you do give Puck Rockets a chance at making it to the playoffs, then like at us just right underneath KOB, a half a game behind 18 and KOB, and 1 game behind Outlaws. It could be interesting.
Do you? Okay, obviously you see Arnold's making the playoffs, right? You're not gonna say no. Who would you see not making it in that case?
It's true. Yeah, I can't see. So Iron Wolves. 18. Well, you know what? This may sound crazy, but if we continue to see the inconsistency at the quarterback position in terms of who's there for Outlaws, maybe it's them,
You
right?
just said that your favorites, and you're gonna tell me now you see.
I mean, look, A team, I 3-2. KO, I know KLB's new to KLB's new to the division, but I don't know if we know who the real Outlaws are yet. Um,
If
I'm
you could just say it, the three teams thing in the playoff spot are going to be the three teams in the playoffs.
never, but we're coming. We're only a game back of two teams, half a game. We did have a big loss against A team.
That win against Outlaws is coming in super clutch right now. Exposing for that. You guys would have really been in trouble right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's take a look at some of the leaders in Division One. That's pretty interesting. How
Holy
do two players have identical receptions, like literally identical receiving yards, but a 10 differential in touchdowns?
that's insane.
Chris Hope leading the division in catches per game. That's pretty impressive and surprising given how often he thinks he doesn't get the ball.
Yeah, at eight a game.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Jeremy Riendo Demers leading the division in touchdowns. Dave having one of his cleaner seasons, right? Like 27 and 5 touchdown to interception ratio. That has to be like really, really up there. Like I don't want to jinx the dude, but like you look at his last couple of Division One seasons, 22 and 23 total interceptions. Right now he's on pace for 10 through 10 games. That's like great ball protection there for Dave. Like the few games I've seen 18 play this year, his own teammates, have been hard on him, and it's a brotherly type of love. Like you pick on your brothers and all that stuff, and it's all in good heart, and you do it because you love the guy and all that, right? But I've never seen a team like self-destruct when it's going poorly and be like the best teammate ever when it's going well. And sometimes it was in the same game. Like already
Exactly.
it's super super difficult to play quarterback, and I don't think many of the players on a team have played quarterback besides Dave. There are a few, but I don't think there's many of them that have a full season of quarterback under their belt. Maybe they don't realize how hard it is to be the quarterback. But then when your own players are questioning your decisions, like you could throw a bad pick and still win a game. But sometimes he throws a bad pick, and not even that bad of a pick, or just an incompletion on fourth down, and it's as if like he's Daniel Jones.
He is a Giants fan.
Well, it didn't come from nowhere. That
I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't realize he was putting up numbers like that.
like he's on pace by one of his, like, I mean, by far his best statistical season right now. Keep it up, Dave.
Yeah, seriously.
You want him to keep it up when he plays Arnold's as well?
You can take a day off then.
Oh, William
Yeah,
Power.
yeah. Thank you. I felt something was missing.
Yeah, I was eager to go back and watch some football.
Yeah, same.
Um, there was only one game. DS Drapeau in the women's division, crushing Dirty Chai Latte there. Um, yeah, finally, DS Drapeau getting their first win.
Still splitting the quarterback duties.
But Dirty Chai Latte had two players with 7 completions, which is not bad, and they didn't throw that many interceptions. Looks like Viviane Claude and Daphne Moret split the quarterback duties, like you just said. Um, and both them balling out at receiver as well. uh, looks like Vivian caught all of Daphne's 7 completions. Unless Vivian threw some passes to herself. Daphne had 7 completions and Vivian had 7 receptions.
Yeah, that's good. Good catch.
So here, I think Dirty Chai Latte and Crazy B is safe to say. Like it's not impossible. They're only one game out of a playoff spot, but I'd be surprised if the top four wouldn't make it in.
Yeah, I think right now it's about more about seeding than anything.
Who do you have as your top one contender?
Like defending champs, well coached. I'm going Tigres at one.
Yeah, I think that was the easy question. I think the tougher question is who's your number one team to like put the pressure on them? Is it Majestic Divas or Steelers? We'll find out this weekend at noon after the 10:30 game. But who do you have winning that one?
I'm gonna go 19-18. Majestic Divas.
Really?
Yeah, their defense. Well, in 3 games, they've only given up 6 points. They give up more more than 6 points in this one, but still get the dub. 19-18 Divas.
I got Steelers winning this one, man. I don't know something about this new team.
Sure, there should be a tight one.
And over under Tigres total points this weekend of 119 and a half.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. I was saying they're gonna score 120.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. In my head, I said 120.
So it's a good over under.
Good, so I can take the over.
As I was asking the question, even before I asked the question, you noticed their opponents and you thought about that.
No, as you're asking the question, I had a feeling that what I didn't think you were gonna say are they gonna go 2-0 because they should, but yeah, I say big numbers for Tigres.
And let's look at some season stats here for these women. You got Angie leading the division with 154 yards. Sari, Shamika, and Kelly all tied. 5 touchdowns to 3 games. That's pretty solid. Angie also leading in receptions. Clearly, Kayla's go-to girl there. Look, tight race with the top three quarterbacks in this division here. Branda, Kayla, and Paula. Paula has that game in hand, but look, all these touchdown to interception ratios are phenomenal. And Kayla should give herself a tap on the back because Branda and Paula have a few seasons at the quarterback position under their belt. Kayla's a brand new quarterback. Like, I don't think she ever threw for a game, let alone a pass in a game before this season. So to have these stats to 3 games is pretty impressive, if you ask me.
And look at that completion percentage there, over
Leading the
60.
division, yeah,
Yep.
good for her. Kelly also leading in interceptions. We got Roxanne from Tigres, a relentless rusher, 4 sacks in 2 games, 2 safeties as well. Just 1 pick six by 4 girls here. But yeah, good catch in the women's division. Laval.
Let's go.
So we had a few interesting games here in Laval. We had Panthers V2 who were sitting atop of the standings at 2-0 before this past weekend, facing off against Dynasty who were sitting at 1-1. And look, James Nguyen through the first 2 games of the season was most probably Panthers MVP, but maybe also a front runner for MVP of all of MFL Laval here. Safe to say it was not his prettiest game, only completing 6 passes. Sometimes he's just off, like it's not your game. He had 2 games where he was close to being the player of the week. Over here, it was a little more difficult for him. Vince Blondet had a sick touchdown catch, and he had a crazy interception in this one. But those all dynasty. You look here, Jean-Maxime Roy-Brisson, I could have sworn had at least 18 catches in this game. He was snapping for Kevin Marion, wide open all game. Literally, like, honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like everyone was like joking about it on the field, like how many catches he had, how many catches he had. I'm shocked he was not a double-digit catches. And then Maxime Fournier, Kevin Marion's other go-to guy, Very clean game from Kevin Marion. Well, not that clean with his 2 picks, but like very efficient game here. 23 or 34, over 150 yards. And look, this is the dynasty team that we were expecting coming in the season. Look, they haven't played in a few years. They thought they'd be rusty. Maybe the rust is already off, and they're sitting in second place right now.
Yeah, it's a team that like you said, played in the Montreal division, and they're a cohesive unit, right? Like it's kind of not a team that makes mistakes on either side of the ball, and I like they don't really have that one superstar. It's really a team effort, and when like you saw when Kevin's able to protect the ball for the most part. I know he did throw those 2 picks, but this defense is good enough to lead a team. So yeah, I look for them to be fighting for that first round bye in either the 1 or the 2 seed when the season's over. I know it's still early, but they're definitely good enough to do so.
Yeah. Another team that's sitting at number one spot now with 3-1 is Les Vilains. Great start of the season. They were playing against the Northsiders, just the Northsiders. I guess they changed their name from Northsiders to Talbot to just Northsiders. Sitting at 2-2, they were 2-1 before this game. Look, they were up 12-0 in this game. This game started off nice for them. 12-0 with 1 minute to go in the first half. There, Jeremy Thompson O'Reilly to Samuel Thompson O'Reilly. Beautiful ball. Even nicer grab by Sam in stride, not even needing to slow down. Gets a touchdown there. They get the 1 point convert, and then it was all villains in the second half. Your boy Lucas even getting a safety there. This team's hard to stop with Jeremy at quarterback, right?
Very. And that defense is strong too.
Yeah. Who did their loss come up against? Oh yeah, High Audibles. Yeah, we got some good teams in this division, man. High Audibles were on a bye week. They're also sitting at 2-1. Look, you got the top 7 teams sitting at 2-1 or better. That's insane. Like you look at right now, Jaders are on the outside looking in. They have a 2-1 record, and only Villains have a game in hand. So like even Villains prior to today's game were sitting at 2-1. Northsiders were all sitting at 2-1. It's pretty nuts, no?
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. From 1 all the way, you said, to 7. No undefeated teams is pretty impressive this early in the season.
I really feel for Team Sauce, man. Another 1 point heartbreaking loss. Those are back-to-back games where they lose by a single point. I didn't see much of this game, but I think they were up. They were up 13-6 at half, and then they were down 7. Scored, didn't get the convert. But this Team Sauce team is way too good to be 1-4. But you can see there's not really many bad teams in this Laval division now, right?
It seems exciting, man. I love it.
So like definitely the top 8 teams are in contention. Uh, Higher Audibles, Villains, Dynasty, probably your favorites, maybe Bandits. Bandits putting up 55 against Wonder Dogs here. I was looking and there were a lot of picks during the game. Unfortunately, I think yeah, GP here with 2 pick sixes. Mikael with a pick six himself. Those are 3 picks, all 3 going for 6. Late in the game, still going for 2 point converts here. Already up 53-0. I don't know what they were trying to do. Beat the all-time record for points scored in a game. But I think Bandits could also beat almost anyone in this division. Their one loss came in that week 1 game against Villains when they were like 5 players start the game. So yeah, this Laval division is like more competitive than I would have thought.
Like I said, to see you look at no undefeated teams. The point differentials, like none of them really, except for unfortunately Wonder Dogs, but none of them really, 36, 25, 53. Okay, but then you have 30, 13, 19, 18. That's kind of what you want to see in that range. So yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. think that was a pretty solid show. Brossard was on a bye week, and we already covered them last week when they were on a bye week coming up. So we'll talk about them next week. If that's okay with you.
That is totally okay. Yeah, thanks.
Is that it for today?
BBs.
What do you got?
It was Div 5. There was a game I had my eye on. Um,
Which game was that?
I think it was it may have been Slicks.
Flicks Big Booties?
Yeah, is that one of the top matchups?
Yeah.
Okay, Slicks Big Booties.
You see it
Yeah,
now?
yeah, thanks. Yeah, that game's at noon. The Bearhood Walnut. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I like it. Bold prediction. No, I think we've kind of gone through that before.
Run through what?
I'm trying to the record for overtimes in a game, but I'm pretty sure
Mm,
it's been like eight or something. No,
yeah, it's quite a lot.
okay,
I
you
got
know
my
what? Well, we figure out eventually, but we won't need to because this game is going to break that. This game is going to go double digit amount of overtimes, and six
nice.
are going to win this game.
Nice. I
Yep.
got picked Sixers in the upset over Spartans. I'm just feeling it. 2 game win streak for them.
Okay, I like that.
Score prediction: Phoenix Jungle Squad.
Jungle Squad means I'm defeated.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's Kevin against Goldrick. We got a battle of media, guys.
Yeah, I say Gold gets the dub.
All right, good choke.
Good stuff.
See you all on Saturday.
Thanks for tuning in. See you Saturday. Be there, be square.